Welcome to the Something About Yarn podcast. My name is Annie, and I am a knitter and designer living near Atlanta, Georgia. And this is a podcast about all the things that I like to do with yarn, the designs that I encounter, the ones that I create, and all the yarn that I get to play with doing it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Hope I didn't scare too many people away with my first 2 episodes. I'm still learning a lot, and I hope you guys can bear with me while I stop being so darn awkward in front of a camera. I'm a photographer, and I'm used to being behind the camera, so thank you so much for your patience. And if you're new to the podcast, you might want to skip the first 2 episodes, just because they were pretty awkward. Oh well, that's up to you. So yeah, today I'm super excited. This will be my last podcast for 2018. Yeah, I cannot believe that a week from tomorrow is January 1st, 2019. I am flabbergasted at how fast the time has gone. I feel like so much has changed in my life, and this year has really been about rediscovering my love of knitting and yarn, and just reconnecting with my inner fiber lover. I always say that, fiber lover. Anyway, my inner fiber lover. Yeah. Again, I'm recording after work, so apologies for the weirdness. Anyway, so I know in my last episode I talked about that I wanted to go over some things on 2019 plans, things that I've talked about on the blog. This is the podcast. I didn't talk about it. Guys, I opened at work today, so I have been awake since super early, and this is me coming down from caffeine and actually relaxing a little bit, so sorry. Anyway, before I go into all that stuff, I wanted to show you something that I am extremely proud of. They're done. I'm so excited. If you did watch last week's podcast, or no, well, last week, this week, whatever, episode 2. If you did watch episode 2, I remember I mentioned that I was kind of at the beginning of the foot on one of these, and I was talking about alternating the colors so that each one would be a little unique. So I went ahead and did it because I could not help myself. I thought I have to do this. So hopefully those are visible. I got all the Christmas lights finished, the little baubles put on today. So yeah, there they are. I have not woven in all the ends yet, but Tabby and Rachel on their last podcast episode said that they don't have to be woven in order to enter the giveaway thing. So I'm gonna just take a cool picture of them by my little Christmas tree over here on my desk, which I am extremely excited about as well. And then I'm going to post it on their Ravelry and on Instagram and all the places because they're so cool. Like, I am hooked, and I feel like I'm hooked on socks again. Like, seriously. I know I've said this every single episode, but the 9-inch circulars revolutionized my sock knitting. Like, I love how quickly these worked up. Even with like all the color work changes and different things like that, it was still so fast. So I cannot wait to cast on another pair of socks. I'm just like, ooh. So I'm gonna put these down for a little while just because I worked on them so much the last couple of weeks, but then I will pick them back up and weave in the ends and get back to it, and yeah, but I need to. I was like obsessed, like mentally, like about finishing these and being able to post that I finished them and enter the giveaway, because yeah. Okay, so I'm done rambling about these. They're awesome. Tabby, I love your design. You are an awesome designer, and I know this will be the first of many of your sock designs, the ones that you have written and the ones that you haven't yet written, that I will definitely be knitting. So Okay, so as far as works in progress, I, once again, monogamous on the ugly Christmas sweater socks. Did not get anything else done this week. Plus, work was crazy, so in my downtime, I just grabbed those and just, you know. So, but I do have one thing. I was trying to figure out what to do for my Christmas Eve cast on because I really want to do that. After hearing about that from several different podcasters, I really want to do that. So I decided to pull out my bento bag from Fringe Supply Company and cast on the second one in this design. Again, not showing too much. So, because it is a new design, up and coming thing that I want to try to keep under wraps. But yeah, it's a pair of gloves, and I'm going to use that. It was on my list of things to do 19 before 2019 over on the blog. I'll put a link down below in the show notes. So yeah, one of the things that I wanted to do was finish a design in progress. So I'm going to use this to do that and be a little cheaty and be my Christmas Eve cast on. I mean, hey, it's a cast on, right? I'm casting on a separate object, right? So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing tonight after dinner. Probably put on a TV show and just start casting on and enjoy. Oh yes, and enjoy the bag of tea that I got. Hope that's in focus. I don't know how well this thing focuses, but it's Christmas Eve herbal tea, and I got it in a package with my Birch Grove bag, my Christmas Birch Grove bag, and it came with a little business card and thank you sticker. So when I opened up my Christmas bag, this was inside, and it was just like, so cool. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this and cast on my second glove tonight. Yeah, so that's about it on knitting, like actual things that I am currently doing or, you know, have just finished, whatever. So sorry I'm a little bit light on that count, but I do have a lot to kind of go through as far as, like I said last week, I wanted to talk about the 2019 plans. So I've got my little notebook here. This is what I'm using for like podcast notes, blog notes. I wrote down my Make 9 2019 stuff, my Cake 9 wish list, designs I want to do, like it's all in here. And then also my word for 2019, which is intentional, things that it means. So yeah, I want to go ahead and start going through all that, just because I think that it would be really cool to kind of stimulate conversation as we go into the last week of 2018. Just, I don't know, share my thoughts, get people thinking, you know, share it with you, and I don't know, maybe get you excited for some things that maybe you weren't gonna do, or maybe you were waffling, trying to like, I don't know if I should do it, I don't know, blah, 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 you know, because my thoughts always sound like blah, 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 and I overthink everything, and I talk myself out of stuff. So if you're like me and the little blah, blah, blah things need to be kind of cleared up a little bit, maybe I can help. I know that was a really weird way of explaining it, but guys, remember, that's how my brain works. This is what you signed up for, or maybe you didn't, but I'm just gonna leave that thought there. So, anyway, I wanna go ahead and start with Make 9 2019. I've already blogged about it, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about it. I created this graphic. I don't know if it's gonna show up, so just in case it doesn't, just know I will have linked to this in the show notes down below. It's going to be my blog entry at somethingaboutYarn.com. It's going to be titled Make 9 2019, just in case you haven't read it yet. So first on my list is the Tecumseh by Caitlin Hunter. I have seen so many amazing versions of this knitted up, and I am so itching to cast my own on. I'm just like, yeah. So I'm like, every time I see somebody wearing one, talking about it online in a podcast or Instagram or whatever, I'm just like, I need that. I need it because I don't know what the official word is on like what the design is, but to me it really looks like bird feathers, and I love birds. If you guys are familiar with Annie Yarn, my hand-dyed yarn line that is on hiatus right now, my logo is a chickadee. So I love birds. Like every time I'm out in nature, I'm always really in tune to what birds I'm hearing, where they are, what they're doing. So, oh yeah, which leads me to something that will be coming in the mail in the next week or so from Ginger Snap Shop. She posted some new bags with bird fabrics, and I immediately was like, I have to get one. So I grabbed one from her shop update. Yeah. I am so excited. I will be showing that off on the podcast, like seriously. But anyway, sorry, I digress. But anyway, so yeah, Tecumseh by Caitlin Hunter. Really excited. Haven't decided on a yarn yet for that. Definitely gonna be using the second part of this, the Cake 9 wish list, in conjunction with my Make 9 and kind of matching up projects and dyers that I want to work with. So that's gonna be a really fun process, and it's going to go into, so yeah, it's all tied together, y'all. That's why when I posted about my word for 2019 being intentional, that's what I was talking about. This ties everything up together, and that's why I wanted to talk about it on the podcast. So anyway, second up is Tanya by Caitlin Hunter. Again, yeah, her designs are amazing. Like, oh my gosh. So, and she just released another amazing one. Like, seriously, it's too much. I want to overload people. But yeah, I really want to get a Tanya knitted up. Probably gonna make that like a spring project, just because it's gonna be a little bit lighter, and maybe going into summer. That way I have it to pull out during like well, here in Georgia, in case you're not familiar with our wacky weather, there's a period between the end of summer and the beginning of winter that really isn't fall sometimes. Sometimes it's still summer, and sometimes winter has its grasp over what should be fall. So you never know. In one day, you might go from having the heat on in the morning to the air conditioning in the afternoon to in the evening being able to just open the windows and be completely comfortable. Like Georgia is, pardon my French, but Georgia is a bitch as far as weather goes. And I love Georgia. I love the area that I live, but I wish she would make up her own damn mind. Sorry. Anyway, because I love fall. I love fall. It is my favorite season, and I love being able to pull out something like a Tanya and be able to throw it on, maybe with like a thermal shirt underneath and some boots or whatever, and be able to layer, but then, enjoy like the Christmas in the air where it's not, too cold, but it's still, sweater weather, I guess. So yeah, that's gonna be perfect. That's gonna be perfect. So, anyway, going by the graphic and my list on the blog, number 3 is a to be determined sweater, because I want to leave room for myself as my favorite designers start coming out with more stuff. I want to leave room for the inspiration bug to hit and the knitting bug to bite. So, to be determined, slot number 3. Number 4 is On the Spice Market by Melanie Berg. I have had this pattern on my list and in my Ravelry library for quite a while, and when Miss Babs made the kits available for the shawl, I grabbed one. In fact, let me grab it and show it to you guys, because it's in the original colors of the pattern, and I'm so excited. And if you can see my little like message board thingy, clipboard up there, you'll see the pattern is right there. That's how much I have been wanting to knit this. So let me grab the yarn. I'm going to show it to you guys. Hopefully it'll show up okay in the lighting, but I cannot resist showing it off. So BRB. Okie dokie, guys. There you go. Feast your eyes on this. I really hope my phone is focusing. Like, yeah. This is just, it makes my eyes so happy. I can't, like, oh, it just, yeah, oh, and here's the other one. Okay, I think I need one of those sweaters that Caroline Dundernit on Instagram, and who does Knitting Vicariously. She has one of those sweaters that has like this amazing open neck that can hold fades. I think I need one of those. But yeah, that's oh guys, I'm so excited about this, and it had to make my Make 9 2019 list. Just had to. Alrighty, moving on to slot number 5 is a to be determined shawl, because once again I want to leave myself room. Some of these things may be like the to be determined, like in the case of a shawl, I have some shawl ideas floating around in my head that may end up being one of my Make 9. I don't know, I may tackle my 2 design list and my Make 9 at the same time and hit that out. I don't know, but I just wanted to leave myself the creative room, so I'm really excited about that. And then, so number 6 is the Magnolia hat by Camilla Vad. Love that hat. I love magnolias. I love the texture and the design. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to pair a yarn from my Cake 9 wish list. Like, oh my goodness, it's so cool. All right, next up is Snowfall Socks by Tabitha Gandy. I cannot wait. They have amazing texture. Oh, they're gonna be amazing. So when I said that I had one of hers, another one of hers on my Make 9 wish list, that's the one I settled on for now, but I really honestly have my sights on like all of her sock designs. So yay, can't wait. I'm thinking that I might go with a light color, kind of like some of the ones I've seen on the internet, just to play off of the snowfall idea. Maybe some sparkle, because I just recently, thanks to Shay, encountered sparkle yarn. Also on my blog, if you want to see which one of hers I ended up leaving her trunk show with. Yeah, I might just have a new thing for sparkle yarns. We'll see. And then slots 8 and 9 are also to be determined. I left one open for socks and one open for gloves, just because, like I said, again, I have some design ideas, but then I also have some things in my Ravelry library that I really want to knit. So we'll just see where the breeze blows me on that, just because, yeah, I like structure, but not too much. I like to leave room for my creativity to flow. So we'll see. So yeah, that, I just look at this, oh, I hope you guys can see that, but if you can't, Instagram, my blog, whatever, take a look. I had so much fun putting this together, and just the entire list is so inspiring to me. Maybe it'll inspire somebody else. So like I said, I really wanted to share this with you guys. I wanted to include things that'll give me new experiences as a knitter, help me encounter new constructions of things, new, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Techniques. There we go. New techniques, new stitch types, whatever. So I feel like it's gonna be a good combination of things that I know how to do, things that will give me new experience, things that will give me structure, but then still leave me room for creativity. So that's gonna be a lot of fun to get started on that. I can't wait. Now I have to decide which one to start first. I don't know. Okay, no, I have another week. I don't have to think about it. Anyway, so now I want to move on to my Cake 9 wish list. Also up on the blog, I took the graphic from One of a Kate. She posted it on Instagram, and did that and tagged everybody on Instagram in my story. And then I also did the same kind of thing that I did with my Make 9, and I did like a photo grid where I got on their Instagrams and chose pictures of the colors that I really like from each of these dyers. So again, all on the blog if you want to go see it. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, just because I do have some other stuff I want to talk about. I don't want to ramble at you guys too much. So first I've got La Bien Aimée. Really had my eye on their yarn for quite a while. Really want to get some. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I've been following them for quite a while on Instagram and stalking their page, so that'll be fun. Next is Woolenvine. I did not know about Woolenvine until I was watching the Hey Sister podcast, and they mentioned her stuff, and I think they made something with her yarn. And then I thought, ooh, that's really pretty. And then I started watching Kristen's podcast, and then I started looking at her yarn, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to put her on my list. So I will be putting her, she's number 2 on the list. Not that the order matters, it's just, yeah. She was one of the first ones that popped into my head because I watch her podcast so much. I've been going back and watching old episodes to try to like get to know her a little bit, and it's been so fun, and I love her podcast. I love her yarn, and yeah, so I cannot wait to have some of my own. So anyway, Next is the Red Pansy. I got some autumn stitch markers from her. Love them. I have been just seriously, like her autumn colors that she came out with. Oh my gosh. I seriously almost got into trouble one time. I was on her site. Luckily, the things that I really, really wanted had already sold out, or I would have been in big trouble, guys. Yeah. Just thinking about that makes me kind of addled. So anyway, another one is Cozy Posy Yarn Company. Love her bright colors and just the layout that she does. Oh my goodness. Just vibrant, bright, lots of color pairings that I really find appealing for my style. So definitely gonna get some from her. And so far, all of these things are things that I have not bought and I have not knitted with yet. But as I go through and start getting these, I will be changing this list on the blog. I have it all like typed out at the bottom. So that way, as I buy them and then as I knit with them, I can update the list and also start linking to the blog entries and maybe podcasts where I review the yarns that I get and stuff like that when I'm making with them, and kind of make it like a process where I update this list throughout the year of 2019. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Anyway, next up is Wobble Gobble. She is so sweet. We've messaged a little bit. I was trying to figure out some colorways to use for a design that I want to do with her yarn. So that was really fun. Haven't quite settled on what I want to do, but I haven't forgotten. In case you watch this podcast, I have not forgotten. And I still want to design, so I'm really excited about that. Next up is Woolberry Fiber Company. Again, love her pictures. Love just the whole aesthetic of her brand on Instagram, because that's where I'm most active. Stocking pages or feeds or grids, or I don't even know what they're called, but whatever. So yeah, and then the last one that I have not bought yet is the Blackberry Ridge. She has a lot of really dark, earthy jewel tones, and I just love it. I am in the Color Me whatever series my mom did, like when she was young. It came out, I don't know, some of you might know what it is, but you have like different seasons. So I'm a winter, and the colors that I can wear are mostly like jewel tones, subdued tones, kind of like this. So the Blackberry Ridge, she has some really nice tones that would go well for garments for me. Nice jewel tones that really bring out my complexion. I can't do garments in really bright colors because I have olive skin tones. I'm part Armenian, so I have the olive, so I can't do orange, lime green, yellow. They make me look like I'm about to puke, so I have to be really careful. So jewel tones I tend to gravitate towards. So and then the last two I have bought, but I haven't knit, so I kind of put them at the bottom just so I could like section out what I have bought and what I haven't bought. And anyway, that's going to be Hooker's Corner, which is Kathy's yarn. I have talked about that already on the blog, how I'm going to design a cowl or something, maybe a shawl or something like that. I got two of her yarns from the Anne of Green Gables line that she was doing. So I got Anne with an E and Matthew Cuthbert, and they are gorgeous together. So hop over to the blog. I'll link in the doodly-doo, as Kristen from Bull and Vine likes to say. I love that word. I love the way she says that too. But anyway, so yeah, down there I will link to that, so that way you guys can see what yarns I have. My iPad just went to sleep. And then the last one is Long Dog yarn. So one of my favorite quotes is actually what my tattoo is, which I haven't officially posted online. I was waiting for it to kind of heal up a little bit, but it is "Not all who wander are lost" from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. That has been one of my absolute favorite quotes ever since I read the first book at the age of 11. So I have a keychain with it. If I ever get another Jeep, I want to have the little thing on the wheel cover thing on the back that says that. I've got, oh goodness, I don't have it out. I have like a quote thing, and yeah. So I love that quote. So when I was scrolling through Long Dog Yarn on Instagram, and I saw that she had just put a new colorway in her shop called Wanderer, I had to get a skein, and it is amazing. In fact, I'll go ahead and grab it and show you. In fact, I should have grabbed the Hooker's Corner to show off too. Let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I went ahead and grabbed it. So this is the yarn that I got from Kathy. Actually, I got it from a yarn store in New Jersey. Winterberries, I think, is in New Jersey, who had just gotten her yarn from a trunk show, and before everything with the Paradise Fire happened, or the campfire. I don't remember. I've heard it called several things, but anyway. So yeah, when I saw these, I grabbed them super fast. They're a lovely DK. So there's that one, and then so those are the names. Hopefully it's focusing. But yeah, just cannot wait to knit with this. I cannot wait. And then here is Wanderer by Long Dog Yarn. So yeah, I loved the speckles and just the, it's like an earthy grayish purple base, and then it has these bright pops of color. Yeah, I love this, and I love the name. I don't think I have blogged about this yet, but I do have some photos to show. So I will definitely be sure to pop that up on the blog this week, an update with this, so you guys can see a little bit better. And then I'll also link to the pictures of these, because I know the lighting in here is not great. I got some awesome pictures on an overcast day where the lighting was nice and diffused, not too blue, not too warm. So I just went outside, like out back with my camera on the sidewalk, and just took pictures of all this stuff. So anyway, yeah. Guys, I love yarn. I can't help it. So yeah, that's it. That is it on those two lists. So if you guys want to read a little bit more, find the links to the dyers on there. Go over to the blog. I'll include all the stuff as always. So yeah, last but not least, I wanted to talk about my word for 2019. So yeah, it's intentional, as if you have seen Instagram, my blog, and watched my previous episodes, you will know that. So my whole thing with this, and one of the things that in my notes, I talked about the Make 9 and Cake 9 wish list. And I wanted to ask myself what I chose, why, and what I want to learn. Because I want my knitting to be intentional. So when I choose a pattern and I choose the yarn, I want to be very intentional about it, because I want to knit things that I will wear all the time. I want to knit with yarns that I haven't before, and help support indie dyers who are doing what I did for 6 years, 5 years, however long it was, when I had Annie yarn. So knowing the work that goes into all of that, knowing the work that goes into designing a beautiful pattern, I want to be really intentional about pairing yarn and pattern, supporting two artisans at the same time, learning as much as I can, and creating something that I will love for years to come. So that's kind of, as I went through this, I was like, okay, I like asked myself all this stuff. I was like, okay, why did I choose this? Well, because I want to learn this, this, and this. And why did I choose this yarn? Well, because I've been eyeing their yarn for a long time. They, you know, in some cases, like with Kathy, Hooker's Corner, she is a mom and a wife, and she's doing this to, you know, have fun, but also as a means of, you know, taking care of her family too. So especially as she gets started, you know, they get moved and she gets started over again in a new place, and, you know, gets her new studio up and running. I'm gonna have my antenna up, because when she starts putting yarn online, if she does pre-orders, I want to be one of those people that jumps in line and grabs some of her yarn, even though I technically already have some, you know, for my Make 9. I will probably go ahead and buy some more, because I want to be really intentional about supporting dyers who are, you know, taking care of their families, taking care of themselves, making a difference in this world through their yarn and through the color and the life that they bring into this world, and make people happy. So that's really long-winded, but that's kind of the thought process that is going into what I choose, why, and why I'm doing the challenge and the wish list and blogging about it and sharing it with everybody. So I'm really excited, because it's just something new for me. I feel like my knitting life has been kind of hodgepodge, you know, seat of the pants. And typically I am more like that with creativity. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of realized that when I do that too much, it burns me out. So, oh wow, the heat finally kicked off. You can hear me now. But so yeah, as I've gotten older, seat of the pants isn't always the best way to go for me. So I tend to get burned out, I get tired, and then sometimes I fall out of love with the projects that I'm working on, and then they languish. So, you know, by being intentional, it's on all fronts. It's exercising patience, wisdom, and while still having fun with it. So it's kind of like I'm trying to find balance, I guess. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna apply my word for 2019 in my knitting life. In other areas of life, you know, being intentional with relationships, with friendships, with my time, with the books that I read, with places that I go, and you know, I really want to focus on bettering my life, my boyfriend's life, our friend's life as much as I can, you know, and living life to the fullest, being intentional about enjoying the little things like a little tiny Christmas tree that I got at Hobby Lobby for $5. You know, I'm that person that I will stop and I will stare at a spider web with dew on it and take a picture and kick myself for not having a macro lens so that I could get the refraction of the light in the water droplets. Like seriously, it doesn't take a whole lot to make me happy. I obsess over Christmas lights. You know, I have them up in my room all year because I freaking love them. A piece of pottery. I will stare at a piece of pottery for ages and enjoy how the light glints off of the different glazes, and I mean, it's just I find so much enjoyment in the simple things, and I feel like getting wrapped up in the day in day out stuff takes me away from that. So today I went over to the park after work because I got off work early. Yes, it was still light when I got off work. Woohoo! And I sat by the lake. I got footage, which I will share at the end of the episode. And I just sat by the lake and I listened to the birds, listened to the little fountain that they have out there, the water lapping against the rocks on the shore. I listened to the breeze in the trees, the kids playing, the dogs running around, and it just got back in tune with the simple things that make me happy and help me relax and unwind. And it just, I intentionally just took a deep breath. Ended up running into some amazing friends of mine that I love to death, and ended up hanging out with them for a little while, them and their family. So that just totally made my day. But yeah, it's not just about the knitting for me. Yes, when I was thinking about my word for 2019, I was thinking of it from more of a knitting point because I'm obsessed with it right now, and I'm like, I have yarn on the brain, which I have not felt in years. Guys, it's been so long since I was this excited about yarn and knitting, and this year has been so good for getting back in touch with that, like I said earlier. So I'm just obsessed with it all over again. So now that I've kind of healed from a lot of things that have happened and gotten my creativity back after everything happened, I think I mentioned it in a previous episode that my dad passed away, and then my yarn business supported my family. So, you know, that really took its toll, and I'm coming back. I've come back from that. So going into 2019, I intend to fully capitalize on the excitement and the obsession that I feel, and just knock out as much as I possibly can and enjoy it as much as I possibly can. So anyway, yeah. As far as dreams for 2019, I really want to create as many designs that have been floating around in my brain as I can. I have some in the works. I've been talking to a couple of dyers already, trying to nail down some details on that. I've got several things that I really want to get out, like in the spring, early summer, things like that. And then also I've got some lined up for fall. So I'm so excited. So some of the things that I showed off in my first episode, actually, and then some things that I haven't even decided on colorways yet. So I get to play with color and work with dyers on bringing some things to life. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then also, I know I mentioned that I wanted to start getting my designs into the Making Things app. So that's going to be a big goal for probably the first quarter of 2019. Go ahead and get in touch with the tech editor and just start getting those out there, because like I said, you guys, if you have not checked out the Making Things app, you're missing out, because this, my iPad with this little Christmas tree background, this is a gateway. And with the Making Things app, it's like the sky is the limit. So, because Ravelry is awesome for finding stuff, but then you have to buy the stuff and then download it, and where'd you put it and all this stuff. Making Things, you add stuff to your wish list, you hit cast on, or whatever, and then the pattern just stays at the top. There it is. You don't have to, it's a monthly subscription, you have access to all the stuff. So you don't have to purchase it, download it, all that. It's all self-contained. Everything is right there. They have like row counters and like all this really neat stuff integrated into the web app. So this is not sponsored in any way. I just love the app. So you guys definitely check it out. I'll be talking about it more as I get my stuff into their library and kind of, moving forward with that. So yeah, I'm excited. 2019 is just going to be awesome. So yeah, I really, in the last couple of months watching podcasts, really realized how much I miss dyeing yarn. Watching the Hey Sister podcast, Woolen Vine, they all dye yarn. They all have their own brands. Getting their yarn, seeing how amazing it is, and just, I really miss playing with the dyes and mixing colors and creating things out of my head and seeing the colors just pop to life onto, beautiful yarn bases. So I am looking into different ways to start my own dye studio. I don't want to do it from home like I used to, because I tend to be a workaholic, and when I had my own business, I regularly worked 14-hour days. So I really just want to have a space where I can go, do all the things, and then come home and it's separate. So I'm just kind of looking into grants, investors, things, just different ways that I could go about it. My ultimate dream is to have a yarn store of my own. Don't know what that looks like. I plan on staying in Georgia, and I love this area, but I don't know what the next couple of years are going to hold for me. So thinking about that for a little bit farther down the road. Then in the meantime, I really want to start dyeing yarn again. I really do. So, and bring Annie Yarn back to life. Or, I don't know, maybe I'll rebrand it as Annie Dot. I don't know. It's all open to creativity and, whatever comes down the pipeline, I guess. So, but yeah, I'm really, really hopeful and inspired, and just going into 2019 is just going to be a really exciting thing for me. Working full-time right now as a manager at Simply Mac, I am a little bit limited on what I can do as far as, free time during the week. But I started a podcast. I'm doing it, guys. I'm blogging regularly again. I'm designing again. I'm knitting the crap out of things right now. So if I can just keep going with that and just take the next step and the next step and the next step, who knows? Right? So, yeah. So I have no idea how long I've been recording. I lost track of time about however long ago it was. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I am hoping to have more in the way of, knitting progress to share with you guys next week. So that way, hopefully, I can, I can't show the new design. So even if I do use that as my Christmas Eve cast on, I'll have to make sure I work on something else that I can show, right? So, but yeah, it's Christmas Eve. I'm probably not going to post this until Thursday, which is the 27th, I think, because I have to work on the 26th, and then, but yeah, so by the time you guys see this, it will have already been Christmas. So I hope you guys had a really special, blessed Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for letting me share my hopes and dreams and the different ideas that I have, the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm excited about. I'm really passionate about it, and I love sharing it with people. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting, guys. Right over there is where I filmed at the day that I was on my lunch break. And so I'm on the other side The library is right there. There's that tower that I talked about last time on the last podcast. So yeah, I'm on the other side of the pond. Just to be kind of funny, you know, kind of lame, but you know. So anyway, yeah, I am a true outdoors girl. Like, oh man, I just love being outdoors and yeah, knitting outdoors and hiking and like all the things. So, I'm gonna go see this new pavilion that they built. I have not been over here in ages. So, gonna just walk along. Oh man, the view though, so beautiful, so beautiful. Oh, here's the bigger boat ramp. That's right. It's this one right here. Okay, I knew it was around here somewhere. I thought that was it, but yeah, this is it. Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta go get a picture. That is such a pretty picture. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit of a daredevil. Not too much, but I like sitting on the edge of things. Yeah, I'm gonna find a place to sit down and knit.